run that shit up.
Hey everybody, what's up? Welcome back to the Cincy Stripes podcast. We're now on to episode 6. We're going to title this one, We're on to Glendale. Same as Belichick said, we're on to Cincinnati. Just a bad game against Tennessee this past week.
Yeah.
Losing 27-3, nowhere near covering the spread when we were favorited. We'll talk about it a little bit, but we're going to do mostly what Burrow said. We're just going to put it to bed, kind of forget about it. It's not a lot of big performers here.
No, we looked good on the first drive. We started off, we had the ball. I was like, all right, maybe we're starting to, because last year when we went on the run, we started taking the ball. We started wanting to drive down the field and scoring first. But we started driving down the field, but then we ended up settling for 3. And then the rest of the game, we just looked bland and couldn't do anything.
The first drive, I thought kind of was going to dictate the whole game, man. We drove down the field rather quickly. I mean, spreading the ball too. I mean, everybody had a catch in that first drive. Got to the red zone and then stalled.
That's what I'm saying. We were looking so good, and then either Tennessee made adjustments, or we just couldn't make adjustments to their adjustments or something.
Yeah, I mean, we stalled out and settled for 3, and then after that went ice.
Which I was okay with settling for 3, just getting on the board first.
I mean, went ice cold. I mean, you are, but we can't score in the first half. First half touchdowns are. It's like us and the Giants are the only teams.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's just sad.
It's not good company. So.
Definitely not. The only positive I can really think about that game was Brad Robbins looked really good. He seemed like he got, the first couple of weeks he was kind of getting bashed by fans, but I think he looked really good against the Titans.
Boots. He did.
Yeah, he did. He averaged 51 yards a punt this week. So.
Yeah.
That's good.
That's really good.
I loved what I saw from him.
That's really
for
good.
Sure.
And he had a 62-yard boot, obviously. So.
And it's kind of hard to criticize the defense because they're on the field so much, but this week they did look bad. I mean, granted they were probably really tired, but I think they just looked pretty bad. A lot of missed tackles.
I think is what killed it, which you're not used to seeing from this Bengals. Like Lou Anarumo's, kind of preached on, finishing on your tackles.
Last year, that's what I was saying. The last 2 years, we have been a great tackling team, but compared to the years before when we had Dre, it seemed like our corners actually want to hit. Cam Taylor-Britt's not scared to hit anybody and come up. Him and Dax will come up and make plays. It's just Mike and then Awuzie. Obviously, you don't really want him making big hits and worrying about re-injuring himself. It's just, Mike Hilton just looked not very good.
I would say on a positive on the offensive side of the ball is I think Burrow hit 8 or 9 different people or receivers. So I mean that's good. I mean he's starting to spread the ball a little bit. I mean I don't think anybody was really over 40 yards except for Chase. I think he was. Let me check. Yeah, he was at 73. Nobody else was over 30. So.
T. Higgins did go out at halftime with his fractured rib. So, yeah. I mean, that kind of – I'm going to say that changed the path of the game considering the Titans scored, I think, they're 21 in the second. So
I was curious that they were playing more Irwin this time than Yoshi because last time when – Higgins was out for a little bit. He missed off, and he came back in that game, but it was Yoshi in. Maybe it's a matchup thing they look at or something.
Probably, yeah.
I
like Jamar.
Who would you rather see if
Higgins
is out, or you think they're just gonna?
I'd rather see Yoshivas. I mean, we've seen Irwin already, but I think Yoshivas has a potential to be better. I think he has a higher ceiling than Irwin.
Yeah, I agree.
And I think he also has a higher floor than Irwin. As well.
Also talking about Irwin since he muffed the punt since Charlie Jones.
Yeah, I didn't like that.
That got announced after our pod last time that he got put on the IR. So Irwin became the punt returner and he muffed that punt. Yep. I put that in there. So, he might not be the starter this week for punt returner. Because they're quick to move. Simmons is quick to move on.
They are
for punt returner job.
I was gonna say. I mean, we talked last on the pod that we've kind of had Derrick Henry's number.
He got our number.
What do you have? 122 or 112?
122.
Passing and rushing touchdown.
Titans had 173 altogether.
He got us back this week. He did. I mean, they were due to beat us.
He was due. He wasn't having a good season.
It just looked like the Bengals were flat, man. Just kind of obviously it's kind of how we've looked, but after last week the defense won us that game. I thought they were going to come out hot, and just we couldn't stop them, man.
And another main issue I think we have on offense is we can't change up our formations or plays because of limitations with Burrow. But we ran 12 personnel, I think I saw 2 times in that game, compared to the week before against the Rams, where we ran majority of 12 personnel.
Yeah, and we didn't see any of the Drew sample in the backfield. I don't think
We saw that a few times. Not as much as we did.
Which
Rams.
worked. I felt like worked out a lot better. Or the Rams, not Baltimore.
But it seemed like the Titans.
They used Hudson, I think, in the right ways.
It just seemed like the Titans knew what we were doing about every snap on offense, or when they were on defense and we were on offense. It was a very ugly game all around.
They both know exactly what each other's going to do. That's what somebody came out. One of the Titans players came out and said their points.
Jeffrey Simmons.
Yeah, said exactly what to do to stop the Bengals.
Mixon looked good again.
Mixon continues to look good, but he just doesn't get the ball.
He averaged right under 5 yards a carry. I mean, just when you get down like that too, it hurts his head.
And I see that we're the lowest efficient running team or something like that, one of the lowest.
Yeah.
I don't know where they get that.
I think it's timely, when you run is that into effect too, first and second downs.
And we've yet to run from under center too, so I mean it's.
Yeah.
Well,
it just sucks too because we use that naked bootleg so efficiently, and you just can't.
Well,
use
did
it.
you see the formation that the Titans were using? They were lining guys boom. So they obviously weren't going to let Burrow get outside even if he wanted to, keeping him in. And
they were ready for this game.
Yeah.
They were excited for Burrow's limitations. They were.
I wish we had the bye this week.
Yeah.
I know it'd be early, but it's kind of what we need. Kind of just all right. Take a step back, get healthy.
And the problem is, we do have the Cardinals, and the Cardinals seem to be hitting above their weight class right now.
Dobbs is playing, I think, above what he usually is, and you never know how long that
lasts. And they're
they're
one of the most efficient running teams in the NFL right now, which is kind of surprising.
Connor always produces.
Considering their offensive line and their new coach and all that, but they seem to be hitting above their weight class right now. I mean, they beat the Cowboys. Cowboys are an amazing team this year.
They've been in every game. I mean,
they've been in every game.
They're scrappy. They're scrappy.
Yeah.
I think when you're counted out like that, man, it makes you want it more. A team like that they're scrappy.
So, we obviously can't sleep on them.
They have a speedy team. All the receivers are speedy.
Marquise Brown,
that scares
Rondell
me
Moore.
for our secondary a little bit. That's why I hope we can contain them or have a good game plan for it.
And another crazy, they don't have any notable players on defense either.
Yeah, that's what he was saying earlier. He can't.
They have Buddha, but I don't think Buddha's
he's on IR.
playing. Yeah, I was about to say, I don't think Buddha's playing. They traded Simmons away. Who do they got? JJ's gone.
It's really hard to say.
Byron Murphy's gone. He's in Minnesota.
But it seems like they're still producing.
Their pass rush is pretty good. They drafted a linebacker, I think. I don't remember. They drafted some. They had a top draft pick.
And looking at their offensive line, it's they don't even have a crazy good offensive line either.
They're just playing.
So I hope that's something Trey Hendrickson. It seemed like Trey Hendrickson was a pretty big liability in the run game against the Titans. Same as Zach Carter. Zach Carter is a really big liability.
Yeah, when they see him and they audible to that run.
Yep.
They know.
They know exactly where to go. That left,
which sucks to see.
And
I had him as a breakout player.
And the problem was putting Trey Hendrickson and Zach Carter on the same side of the run. So that's where my issues lied with defense mostly. Other than that, I think the main problem defense was execution, missed tackles.
Yeah. The tail of the tape, we are averaging 15 points a game. They're averaging 24.
Mm-hmm. We don't even play till 4 this week. I didn't know that.
We're in Arizona.
Dang.
15. If you would have told me after 4 games what are the Bengals averaging 15 points a game,
wouldn't believe it.
That's 2 touchdowns. That's crazy. That's absolutely.
We
wild.
still don't have a first half touchdown.
That's wild to me, man.
I hope our defense is ready. They average 347 yards a game.
Yeah, they do. Yeah, they average 24 a game.
But they also allow 395. So
I'm looking at.
Hopefully we can attack our.
I'm looking at their defensive starters right now, and you can't. There's not a top. Zaven Collins maybe, but there's not a top 200 player on this defense. I'm not it's not like I'm talking.
You're not dissing them.
I'm not dissing them.
They have
it's
a lot
just
of young guys too.
Yeah, they're probably young. I don't know much about the Cardinals at all, really.
Yeah.
because we never play them, so I'm not really familiar with them all that
Well,
much.
and they've kind of gone recently into like a different rebuild kind of like stage.
Yeah,
Like they used to have Isaiah Simmons, like Buda. Like they still have Buda, but
obviously we're familiar with Dobbs, Connor, Brown.
Rondell Moore.
Well, we're familiar with Dobbs, Connor, and Brown mostly because they were in the AFC North.
obviously they used to have
Division,
they used to have Ertz.
Yeah, that's true. They still do have Ertz.
They used to.
And they're
Is Ertz still on the team?
Ertz is, yeah.
Yeah, he is. I don't know why I blanked out there.
Yeah, let's say I thought.
Had him on fantasy last year.
He's older now though. Like he's been around.
Yeah, I gotta look at their team.
But like I'm familiar with DJ Humphries because he's been around for a while.
Yeah, I know DJ.
Will Hernandez, he's been around for quite a bit.
He's on the injury report though.
And Paris Johnson Jr. obviously because
He just got drafted, right?
he's a tackle from Ohio State.
So are you like? I mean, obviously it's early and like must win's kind of a weird question. But are you considering this a must win?
Yeah,
Well, I mean, they even said it this week, and Joe said it. He immediately said he cut off the reporter and said yes. Like it's definitely a must win.
Oh, that's
you
kinda
gotta
why
win
I'm
the next
asking.
two. Go
Like-
3-3 to the bye. You have two big games right after
And,
the bye,
like-
and the Niners and Bills.
I think you're kind of like their focus is starting to shift from like division title to like wild card, right?
I mean,
Not
that's-
yet.
That's my mindset.
Not yet.
You don't think so yet?
That locker room's not set on division, or that locker room's not set on wild card just yet. I think they're still focused on division.
Because you think 5 losses is probably the cutoff for division?
Has to be,
Yeah.
especially with how dangerous the Ravens and Browns
Ravens
look.
good.
That's why I'm just curious because, just it sucks losing early. I mean, that's what killed us last year. Those 2 early
Yep.
losses.
We really need Pittsburgh to beat Baltimore this week. Like,
It's gonna be a tough task.
I don't think it's gonna happen, but
Bengals
Why?
just,
it'd be
Pickett's
nice.
playing.
Bengals just need to win
Yeah,
games. and
Pickett's
just
Yeah,
worry.
playing.
but you can argue that Pittsburgh has a worse offense than we do.
yeah, it's
We're just not producing. I mean, Burrow being hurt doesn't help. That's the whole
But
thing.
I mean, you go back. What sucks is you got former players and like QB coaches and a bunch of people watching our film from last week and saying, "What are they doing? What's this? What's this concept? What's this pass concept? What's this run blocking? What's this pass blocking?" And that's kind of a problem for me if a third string quarterback pretty much all of his life is out here pointing out problems.
yeah.
Now, all respect to him, but
yeah, you're still in it. I mean, you're still.
Zach Taylor and Brian Callahan need to build a better offense.
Yeah.
Now, whether it's a healthy Burrow or a banged up Burrow, you still have to produce. I mean, there's not any excuses.
Yeah.
I thought there was a lot. Again, Tyler Boyd had a drop ball down the middle of the field with the linebacker on him. That's a missed opportunity.
Yep.
Burrow had a turnover worthy play on the first drive. Almost. Who was
the
it?
pick 6?
Yeah, who was that from Tennessee? Their safety.
Their safety. Yeah, he's had a couple picks on Burrow.
Yeah.
Oh, what's his name?
Was it Hooker?
Hooker. Yeah,
Yeah.
Hooker.
I thought it was a bird.
Byard.
No, it wasn't Byard. It was
Byard,
Hooker.
yeah.
It was Hooker.
It was Hooker, yeah. I mean, he would have had a 99-yard pick 6 if he caught it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean,
And that's on Burrow. That's on execution. But, again, JT Sullivan from
The throw
the
just-
QB school,
was behind.
he pointed out that the tight end did not take his leverage vertical enough to take away that safety for Higgins to cut across. They were both running slants, but Drew Sample was supposed to run his a little bit more vertical and then cut in just to pull that player. So, I mean, that's, again, what he said from the QB school. He said he doesn't know if that's on execution or if that's how it was designed. Because, I mean, we're not in the locker room, but
Yeah, I mean, we don't really know.
But
Who
you
knows
watch,
what's
but you
going
watch
there.
some of these routes on the all 22 and stuff like that, and you just can't help but say, what are they running? What are they running? You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I get it.
But I mean, not too much to touch on.
I
But
want to say it's not going to be a close game, but it's going to be a close game because it's the Bengals, and we haven't looked good. But
And the Cardinals have played tough.
yeah, they definitely
they
play
haven't
up
looked
to
bad,
their
man.
opponent.
They haven't looked bad
They
at all.
definitely play up. But I'm just hoping they don't. I don't know.
I'm hoping Burrow, it's another week of, another rehab of a week, getting the calf right, come out, being able to fully.
He seems
plant.
like he wasn't even on the injury report this week. Like he seems like he's a lot better. And but we'll see. Like, I want to say he is and he's going to play better and be better this week, but I'm not
He
going to
still
say
has to
anything.
deliver
Yeah.
throws.
Yeah,
They gotta
until
get-
he proves it to me.
I was gonna say that if it's that, they got to get Jamar going earlier. Like, they get him going, it seems like a little too late, and then the drive stalls out. It's like, just keep feeding the man. Like, they can't stop him.
Yeah, no.
Like those little stop hitch routes, you can't stop him. Those little 10 outs.
Do you guys see that Zach called him into his office about that?
Yeah, he told him,
yeah.
he's like,
I thought
love
that
it.
was awesome.
Yeah,
He's a great fucking interview.
yeah.
And he's like, I never heard.
We
Zach
try not to cuss on here, but that's what Zach
Yeah,
said.
quoting him.
And Jamar said, he's like, I don't think I ever heard Zach
Zach
cuss
cuss.
before. He's like,
Yeah.
I didn't think he could.
Yep.
I think Zach.
By the way, screw the media for blowing that out of proportion.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Trying to make
And he thinks
Jamar
he
and our
seem-
team look
yeah.
like
he should-
divas or,
he
like,
not gonna wanna
drama.
sign back in
Right.
Cincinnati.
The question was, is there a problem with the schemes that we're running or something like that? And Jamar said, no. He said, I'm always open. I mean, that was the question. And then they took a 3-second clip and turned it into something that it wasn't.
Which, I mean, what do you want him to say? Is always open.
Yeah, exactly. He is.
I mean, that's the mindset you want from your number one.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, I love it. I mean, he's had almost 20 catches in the last 2 weeks. That's the production you want.
Hmm.
I mean, obviously we want to win, but it's good to see that they are scheming him up anyway.
And like Burrow said in press conference yesterday, he said he doesn't care how we win, whether it's pretty or ugly. He said you just got to.
Burrow's not a stats guy at all. Like he just
cares about wins.
He's just not a stats guy.
I think
at
if Higgins is out, I think you're going to see even more to chase. Obviously.
all. Yeah, I mean, they're just what you'd think. Like,
Yeah. I think when they have both of them, they try to even it out. But when it's just Jamar out there, I think he's just going to go crazy. Kind of like that Rams game where he had 12 catches, but I don't think he'll obviously have as much. I think he'll have more yards this time than catches, than he did in that game.
I just hope we're able to run more under center because it does seem like maybe Burrow's getting some of
I
his
hope so.
health back, and we can run more plays from under center.
I'd
dude,
rather
when
us-
he's healthy, man, it's gonna be nasty.
I'd rather us elect the kick if we win the toss.
Yeah, I'd like to kick it. I'm tired of
Yeah.
receiving it and doing nothing,
Yeah.
and it screws us over at half.
Yeah, that's what
I
I'm
get it.
saying.
I understood the mindset last year with doing it because we were a very hot team.
Yep.
We were getting explosive plays. We were running the ball very well and passing it deep and just killing. But we're not doing that this year. So you gotta kick it, get the ball at half.
Play to your strengths.
Yep.
I mean, not saying that our offense isn't our strength, but timely. At
Mm-hmm.
times you got to play with what's in front of you. Our offense isn't clicking right now. You kind of just have to land on the defense a little bit more.
And I think receiving the ball it's not going to help you click with your offense. I wasn't against the field goal the first drive, but I think if we would have went for it, it would have done something for our ego if we got it.
Yeah, I was screaming at the TV, go for it, just because, like you
You're
said,
pi-
we
you're-
haven't scored in the first half yet. Like,
Yep.
we're clicking on offense.
There's
They
a lot of
stop us,
pressure.
it's fourth
A
and
lot of
short.
pressure.
Just go. Go for it. You don't
Mhm.
score there. We got blown out anyway. So what's it matter?
Yeah.
Like,
And it's easy to look at that in hindsight, but I knew during that drive that you have to go for it. You're pinning them inside the 10 if
Dude.
you don't get it.
if we want to be real, like if we wanted to be kind of like just a short passing team, who's stopping Jamar Chase on little 3 or 4 yard catches with that space in front of him? Nobody.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you just got to start doing that kind of stuff with him if that's what you were wanting to do. You got to go for it on those situations.
And I'm tired of running screens too that just never work. I don't know if it's because of execution or it's just because we call them at bad
I don't know,
times.
part of they know we're not going like middle or deep. Like what's Burrow's longest completion or something this year? Like it's like some crazy stat. His longest pass down the field or something.
It was like 15 yards, but I think it got broke last week again against the Rams.
It just
'Cause that
doesn't
Jamar-
seem like
that
so.
Jamar
They're
play.
obviously knowing that we're not going to really pass that deep, so they're playing more up, and they know it's going to be either short screens or it's like
Well, they're using the screens to just extend the run game.
yeah.
And all they're doing is playing soft coverage too.
Yeah.
They're not playing anything exquisite. They're just cover 2, nothing over top, keeping everything in front of you. And then the Titans just sent the house a couple of times, and it worked about
Dude.
every time.
To be honest, though, their linebackers are fast.
Oh yeah,
Like, they are fast. Like
I don't know how to say his
Shahir?
name. Yeah, Shahir.
He's fast, man.
Did he come from the Niners? I think he went.
Yeah, I think he did, yeah.
Because I remember using him in Madden because I was like, I
Like,
love
they were
this
blitzing
guy.
up the A gap like they were fast.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's just the tail of the tape. They're gonna watch the tape. They're gonna see what they did wrong, what they can improve on, hopefully. and design something different.
I think there's only one thing left in this game to talk about, and that's our Cincy Stripes parlay.
I mean, did you really want to talk about it?
I mean, it's
Bengals -2 did not hit for all our
no,
listeners
I'm
out
saying
there.
for this week. I'm not saying for last week.
I know. I
We
just
don't
had
talk
to,
about our
I had to
losers.
say it one last
We
time,
leave
buddy.
the losers in the past.
They'll start hitting.
It's already flushed down the toilet. So
I mean, it's hard to hit anything when the Bengals are.
yeah, I mean you can't.
Just
what-
playing so bad.
Yeah, just
yeah.
not looking good.
I mean,
at all.
I say we go with a little 2-leg parlay this week.
Yeah, we got to go back to short and simple until they win again.
Yeah, going Bengals money line at -156.
And I'm just taking a Jamar Tutty.
Jamar Tutty.
Yep.
All right.
He's due.
We had him in our touchdown score parlay.
Yep.
3 of the 5 hit. George Kittle didn't get a touchdown,
Yeah,
unfortunately.
he didn't do much for me either in fantasy. So. But the Niners won, so it is what it is. But
Yeah, I mean, there's just not much for us to talk about with the Bengals this week, just because of a couple of the circumstances of losing 27-3 is kind of a tough beat. But we're gonna get into some of our favorite moments from Week 4. Talk about it. A lot of stuff happened in Week 4 that I think was pretty enjoyable to watch.
yeah,
It was a lot of
It was
fun,
a good week in the NFL to watch.
especially Sunday Night Football. That was
Yeah.
a very
That was a
fun
great
game.
That was a great game.
I loved watching Zach Wilson go out there and ball.
He outplayed Mahomes.
I mean, we said it. I think we said it on the podcast a couple times. Like Zach, he's washed. He's done. You know what I mean? I don't know. He looked good.
He did.
He looked good. He outdoing Mahomes on Sunday Night Football. So I mean,
Mahomes had what? 2 picks. It should have been 3.
should have been
one
3,
got
but a holding
yeah.
on Sauce Gardner took it away.
Should have been 3.
And then I love how it's like, I don't love it, but it's funny. Isaiah Pacheco scored that 56-yard touchdown or whatever. They just pan the Taylor Swift.
Yeah,
Every
right,
dude,
every
Like
time.
she's the offensive coordinator, like she's calling the plays.
Yeah, it's just annoying at this point. Like I love Taylor Swift, but this is football. Don't be ruining my NFL.
I mean, I
Sunday.
get she's an entertainer,
Like show her like they do. Like I heard somebody say they do basketball. Like show them like, hey, they're here. Like that's cool.
they do that for
mean,
Devin Booker
dude,
and KD.
No, they didn't actually.
They didn't.
No.
You have 2 of the biggest basketball stars go to the Cincinnati Bengals game
Like I saw stuff on Twitter
against the
obviously, but I
Ravens,
didn't see
and you don't
or
show them.
X. But I didn't see anything about them.
Classic.
Yeah, but I mean, Taylor Swift, like just worldwide, as far as like being known, is like crazy big. I don't even know how many people she's probably actually like brought
She's
into
got a
the
whole
sport.
army.
Like, I mean, you see Kelsey's jersey sales went up how much?
Like almost 60% or something like
yeah,
that.
it's crazy.
He gained like
800,000 Instagram followers.
Yeah. I think it's like closer to 900,000 now.
Jeez.
Their podcast is like number 1. Like,
New Heights, yeah. That's a good podcast.
I
It
love
is a
their
good
podcast,
podcast,
but I'm
yeah.
saying like it was like number 1. It like shot up on all podcasts. Like they were doing good in sports and number 1, but the
No, yeah,
Swifties
like
got them
overall.
up.
Yeah, Taylor Swift's in the mix.
Yep. I don't know how that gets them to listen to the podcast. I guess.
I don't know. Swifties are crazy.
Yeah.
Swifties, they're one of the most outrageous bases I've seen. Like when me and Colton flew out to Arizona back in March.
Oh, screw me.
Were you on our flights?
No, but I went to Arizona.
Yeah, but you weren't on our flights though. It was me and Colton flying out together. But there was Swifties on the plane ride because
there was
Yeah, she was in Arizona.
yeah, she was in
T
Phoenix
Swift.
that week.
Yeah.
It was crazy.
There was a lot of T Swift people.
Yeah. The Bears and Broncos game was a lot more exciting than I think we thought it was going to be.
Bears
Yeah,
should have won
dude.
that game.
Really thought they were gonna have their first
Yeah.
win of the season.
It's looking like they won now. It looks very.
Yeah,
I'm watching the.
17-3.
17-3.
We're all watching the Commanders game right now, and it
Yeah.
seems like
We all took the Commanders, by the way.
Should
we
have
all
bet.
took the
Unless
Commanders
Eric took
money
the
line.
Bears.
Should have bet Bears
I took
money
the
line.
Commanders. The only
Yeah, you
time
bet on
I
the Commanders,
don't
that's
take
your
the
pick.
Bears.
Yeah.
They're
to
gonna
the
win.
Commanders.
Hey, but this
They're
is how
gonna
they
lose.
started off last week.
Yeah. It's early still.
17-3.
Time
That's,
to
they still
melt
got.
down.
They're just down 2 possessions now.
Plenty of time to melt down.
Chase Young strip sack.
Yeah, but I have the under at 44.5. So
That sounds like a personal problem.
it
is,
is.
yeah.
It
I
is.
I think
We
he
both
has
have
under
them.
50.5. So.
Yeah, 50.5 still looking all right though.
Ah, I should have picked that.
Yeah, I should have alternated it.
Bills got
Alternated.
humbled, or not? Sorry, Dolphins got humbled by the Bills.
Yeah. I thought I like how they went by winning by 50 to losing by 28. That's a crazy point
Yeah,
differential
that's
between weeks.
and honestly shocking. I thought it'd be closer.
I didn't
And
even
it
get to
was,
see
I had Miami winning.
dude. It was closer, and then it just
I had
like
Buffalo.
I had Buffalo winning.
I thought Buffalo
in
would
Buffalo.
I just didn't know
sometime-
about the defense, though. I just didn't know about Buffalo's defense, but
Mhm.
it seems like.
Well, they
No,
just,
we haven't
they just
seen that.
lost.
Oh yeah, Trey White.
Trey White for
Trey
the
White's
season.
out for the year now.
So that's
His
a big
Achilles
loss.
injury.
You just can't stay healthy. He's
That-
so good.
Injuries suck in the NFL.
Just, yeah,
When
they
you
suck.
suck in any sport, but
That's true.
And then I would say like another big like story for the weekend is like C.J. Stroud's progression, dude.
he's balling.
Who'd
balling.
they
I
play
put
again?
here. They put
I know they
Pittsburgh.
I know he
dropped 30
balled.
on their
Yeah,
head.
I'd say I know he balled. I just didn't remember who he played.
I
Give the
mean,
year
would you
right
say?
now.
Oh yeah, they
would you
won
say
30
he's top
to
10
nine.
right now?
They won 30-9. Right?
Mhm.
Would you say he's top 10?
I don't know who typed top 10.
He's playing like top 10.
I didn't put top 10. I
I
put
didn't.
rookie of the
I
year.
did. I said.
Oh, you
Izzy-
put top 10?
I said. I said Izzy.
Oh, okay.
I said Izzy with a question mark.
Right now, yeah.
He's playing.
We'd
He's
have to
right
look-
now,
we'd have to look at it
through
later.
5 weeks. Through 5 weeks, he's top 10.
He's top 10. He's
Yeah.
top 5 in passing yards. No picks. 0 picks. That's pretty impressive.
That's why I said right now.
He's probably close.
If you wipe the slate of every
If we looked-
quarterback
I'd have to look at it
and you
full
look at
list,
the
but
5 weeks
I'm
they've
sure he's
played
probably
right
in there.
now, you're
Yeah.
taking C.J. Stroud
Dude,
top 10.
Texans are 2-2,
Yeah.
and I would pick.
And,
I
like
picked
also
them to win
another
this
team
week.
that this like the Cardinals at the beginning of the year, I thought the Bengals that was kind of like going to be an easier win. Like the Texans, now I'm like, all right, that's
I
not going to
quickly
be that
noticed-
easy of a win.
Hey, and Texans play the Falcons this week. They could win that game.
No, I have the Texans in that game.
if they're
Easily.
3-2.
I have that. The Texans defense is probably. I love
I took
Desmond
the
Ritter,
Falcons
but
for that
Desmond
one.
You
Ritter.
think so? Is it starting to think the Panthers messed up?
Desmond Ritter's about to get benched.
Oh,
sadly.
Panthers definitely messed up, I feel like.
It's
Too
still,
early
I
to
think it's
tell.
still early to
Too
tell.
early
It's
to
early
tell.
to
Bryce
tell.
hasn't really looked that
But
well.
Jury's
early
still out.
signs, dude.
But watching Bryce Young,
he can't even do a QB sneak, man.
they
He's too small.
Andy,
I thought
Andy,
he was
come
too
on,
small
come on.
coming in.
they showed him up. He was behind his center before they were about to snap the ball. His center's still standing. I'm like, I don't know how he's making reads down the field. Like, this has to be impossible for him. I mean, these guys are like way taller than him, so I don't know how he's reading the field. But
He manages.
he manages. More impressive by him, I guess. But
We forgot about the Commanders. Sam Howell took the Commanders to overtime with the Eagles.
that was a fun game.
I wish they would have
would
just went for it. I thought the Ron Rivera move was going to be for them to just go for it for 2 to win it.
At that point, you got to play
I
it
think
smart.
they knew. Yeah, try to get the win.
That's just usually
Yeah.
the Ron Rivera move, though.
'Cause-
Just go for 2 because you were like 6-point underdogs going into it. You had the momentum. You might as well go for it.
Komet with a big catch.
Yeah,
It's
it's
not
good
looking
for
good
our
for
parlay.
our
Washington
parlay's
right
not
now.
looking
good
too
for our
good.
It's good for my parlay.
It's a good thing it's no sweat.
It's
so.
Sojo over. Yeah, right. It's
Yeah.
no sweat.
Yeah.
Let's go. The Ravens did smack the Browns. DTR threw 3 picks.
Yeah, I thought he
I
was
was-
going to look all right. I thought he was going to do better.
A hard team to play for
Play
your
first
first game,
game.
no matter who they have on the field.
Oh yeah,
that,
extremely hard.
They're always a tough team to play. Like, can't really blame the kid.
No, that's a
Holy
really
crap.
good defense
DJ
to play
Moore in the
against.
second quarter, 5 for 137, 2 tutties.
They bought out, man.
That's kind of tough.
Who'd the Giants play again?
Seattle.
Seahawks. Monday
Yeah.
Night
Oh, yeah,
Football.
Monday night.
That was, dude. That game was.
That game was brutal.
Boring.
That game was brutal.
Yeah.
But hey, the guys playing in fantasy. I was up by like 12 points. All he had left was Daniel Jones, and I came out with the win, 1 by 2.
Is it Daniel Jones or is it the line?
Both. I think that Giants team's pretty bad.
Yeah, I don't.
The
think
pick 6 he threw was on him.
I think he makes bad decisions when he has time at times,
Mm-hmm.
but the line is not good.
Oh no.
Like, I don't think he's a franchise guy, but he can win you games. Like, he's better than a backup. He's just in that weird kind of gray area for QBs.
Great
You
bridge
think, you know what I mean?
quarterback. If you need him
Yeah.
for like a year.
Yeah, that's kind of like a Dalton, but I think Dalton's better than.
They just paid
Dalton's
him.
prime
Did they just
is
pay him
Dalton's
last
probably
year?
so much better than him.
Yeah. What?
Did they just pay him last
A
year?
lot, yeah. A lot.
That's kind of tough. That's kind of tough.
Yeah, it was like 5 years, wasn't it? 6 years.
Yeah, 4 or 5.
Yeah. It was like 140.
5 year, like 180.
4
Yeah.
years, $160 million.
160.
We were both. I had said 140. You said 180.
92 guaranteed.
Oh
Was
man.
that 40 mil a year?
And you're about to have to either bench him because
You
mean
ain't
they're not
benching
going to
him.
bench him.
You
Why'd
ain't
you bench
benching
him?
You pay him that much money, you got to start him.
Yeah.
They're going to get a top pick, and they're going to draft probably either a lineman or a skill guy.
Yeah.
If
I
they
don't
get a
know,
top
the
5
receivers
pick,
are just not good either.
Tell you what, the Bears keep playing like this, they're gonna lose out on the Caleb Williams sweepstakes.
Here comes the tush push.
Yeah,
He easily got it.
that's kind of crazy.
But what's you wanting to go into this week?
Yeah, we'll go games of the week. My game of the week's Tennessee at Indianapolis. Obviously, I forget who I took on my pick'em, but
I took Tennessee.
I want Indy to
I want
win.
Indy to win, but I think Mike Vrabel, like they did against us. I hope not, because I want Indy to win.
I thought Indy put up a really good comeback against the Rams, and
Rams are a good team as well.
Anthony Richardson looked pretty good towards the end of that. But yeah, I do think Tennessee kind of defense. I think they're starting to come alive. Maybe just because they played us. I don't know, but
Richardson didn't play last week, right? Yeah,
He played.
Yeah, he
Oh,
played.
He played. Yeah.
Minshew played against
2 weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
Who they
Against
play?
the Ravens.
Baltimore.
He
Yeah.
beat them.
Yep.
Did us a favor. But
Oh,
go ahead. No, you
okay.
go.
I took Dallas and the 49ers for mine.
That's gonna be a great game.
I have the 49ers winning. I think they're better defensively.
You know what mine and his
offensively.
plan was? All of our money we went on this bet that if it's not going to hit unless the Commanders can come back, we were going to put on the Niners to win Sunday Night
Yeah,
Football.
money
Money line. And it would have been like 150 or 180 on the Niners.
Straight up.
Straight up.
Are they in Dallas or
They're in
it's
San Fran.
In San
San
Fran.
Fran? Okay.
I was going back and forth with him at work.
I
About
think
it.
San Fran wins, man.
Yeah.
I think they do. Yeah.
I'll take San Fran. Oh, Khalil Herbert.
Dude.
Not looking too good for the Commanders right now.
My game of the week is the Eagles at the Rams. I think the Eagles, everybody's going to probably pick the Eagles. But, I took the Eagles, but I think the Rams could give them a run for that money that game. The Eagles' defense hasn't looked like the defense of last year. Obviously, it's still really good. But their, back end doesn't look like their linebackers aren't looking as good. And I think that Stafford could kind of, if the pressure, actually after the pressure.
Cooper comes back, too.
That's true. If they don't let the pressure get to them, if the Bengals were getting pressure, the Eagles' line's probably definitely getting pressure.
Well, you don't have the tush push for the third time?
They are.
They're just we're just going to take advantage of it.
Only
You
played
got it.
run.
It's gonna. That's
Wow.
They
I got
get
it.
rid of that.
My game of the week's going to be Texans at Falcons. I think you guys picked the other top 3 games of the week, so I didn't want to kind of copycat.
I fiddled with that game.
A lot of
bit.
young guys.
That's what I like.
A lot of young guys, a lot of former Bengals.
My other problem is Falcons look like crap.
That's why
Yeah,
I
but-
took
but-
Texans. That's why I took Texans.
They looked bad.
Ritter has not been looking.
No,
good
I
last
think
2
Ritter
weeks.
looked.
I think the
It's
Falcons.
looking like Heineke could be taking.
I think the Falcons get a quarterback, man. They're going to be fun to watch, though.
I
You
think
might
the
as well start
Falcons.
Heineke.
Dude,
Heineke's
Bijan
The
is
Falcon.
legit.
If I'm the Falcons, I'm selling everything at the end of the year to get that number 1 pick.
Bijan's legit, man.
Yeah, I traded Pitts to the Bengals for a
Well,
6th rounder.
Well, Pitts is a free
Dude, I
agent.
think you
Or
traded.
that mean they got 5th year
You
option.
traded
I don't
to
know
at
what
least the
they're gonna
top
do
5. I mean,
with- But he's not a free agent next year.
obviously you want
Year
Caleb
after.
Williams, but
Pitts, yeah. No.
for the Falcons.
Year after.
They were in that Deshaun sweep.
'Cause he was
Everybody
drafted
thought he
with
was
Chase.
for sure going to. I thought he was for sure going to Atlanta, and then Cleveland came out.
Well, yeah. Well, Cleveland
With
made the
the all
worst
guaranteed,
contract of
yeah.
all
all
time.
guaranteed.
if the
money.
Bears get the first pick again, do you take Caleb
they're not
Williams?
going to. They're going to win this game.
I'm saying
I'm trying to
if
jinx
they
this
if they
house.
don't take Fields, then you trade it. That's
But-
gonna be a haul, man.
But
jinx it.
you'd have to. I would trade that personally.
Because
If I'm the Bears, I'm trading that number 1
they
pick
already have another pick.
because it's
They have
Caleb.
one
It's going to
answer.
be Caleb Williams,
Right now, 'cause they have the
probably
Panthers
the
pick.
greatest prospect we've seen since Andrew Luck or Joe Burrow.
And they're already
I wouldn't say Joe Burrow. Joe Burrow had 1 good year, so
and
it's
they're
kind
gonna
of tough to say.
and they're gonna have the
prospect for
Panthers
him,
pick,
but-
like he said. And the Panthers are not gonna be good.
Yeah, no. But
So they literally could have the first and second pick this year.
the Falcons,
Doesn't matter,
like I said, if the Falcons, if Desmond Ritter doesn't work out this year, you sell everything. Not everything, meaning players, but
You
You
trade
know
picks.
what I'm doing if I'm the Bears? What is Fields on a contract? What's Fields like, or is his contract almost up, or what?
This is his
Because
third
I'm
season.
taking Caleb and I'm taking Marvin Harrison.
They need linemen, bro.
They need a lot more than
That's pass
Ooh.
interference.
Is it?
No. All right.
clean to me.
Should have caught it, honestly.
Clean to me. But teams like maybe the Cardinals, depending on how they're feeling with Kyler,
Yeah.
because it is a new head coach, so depending on just how they feel. And teams like the Falcons, if Desmond Ritter doesn't step up, maybe the Commanders, but at Commanders I could see settling for a later round pick guy and giving Sam Howell another opportunity.
Yeah, I think they kind of let him.
Denver, I don't know what their plan is.
Does Denver have their first round pick?
I don't know.
I think Seattle has it.
I was gonna say I don't think they do this year.
Seattle, if I'm Seattle,
Dude,
Geno
that's
Smith
the
is
pick.
older.
That's the pick right there. Yeah, you probably take a QB.
You know what I mean? If you're Seattle, you go like Drake May or Shadur Sanders if he enters the draft
He's
this
not
year.
going in the draft this year.
I don't think he would, but you just never know.
I'm trying to look
If I'm any of those teams, I'm selling everything to get Caleb Williams because he will be the next guy. I'm not gonna say he's gonna become like Patrick Mahomes or like Joe Burrow or Josh Allen, but
He could be. I mean, that's his projection.
yeah, I mean, but you got to take a risk for a guy like that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Not everybody's built like him, and his arm talent and his just his game is just different.
Yeah, watching him against Colorado was nuts.
Yeah, he threw his first pick of the season against them.
We need Washington to score a touchdown here, and I think they get ball at half too. That'd be cool. But I was looking at quarterback free agents this year, or like the year coming up. It's just I thought it was gonna be better, but it's just really Kirk, Tannehill, and Jameis.
Kirk, I wonder if Kirk goes somewhere.
That's what I said. I
Or
was
the
gonna ask you
Vikings
guys.
are another team.
I was gonna ask you guys
Dude,
about
yeah.
it. That's what I was gonna ask because
Imagine
that means Tannehill. So Titans will need. There's no way you can rock with Malik Willis or Levis. I obviously
Tennessee?
don't trust them. I don't know. I wouldn't rock with them.
it all depends on where everybody falls in draft order too.
Yeah, that's true.
For sure the top two quarterbacks. I mean, Caleb Williams said he would probably go back to college if depending.
I thought you were the one that said like he just wants to play no matter what. He just wants to play football.
I don't think he'll go back to school.
You were the one that said that when I said that he was thinking about going back to school if a team that he didn't want to go to drafts him.
I think if the Bears
I
take
didn't say
him,
that.
No, he did.
Yeah, I
not.
go
I
back
didn't
to
say
school.
that.
I'll run back the table.
Oh,
Put
he's
it in
gonna pull the
chat.
receipt.
Yeah, you're gonna have to
And I
because
will.
I didn't say that.
I'll
Pull
put it
the
in chat.
receipts, boys.
I don't remember what episode, so I'll have to be watching all of our episodes back.
I mean,
I'll clip it and send it in the chat, and
Pull
I'll
those
probably tweet it
receipts.
out.
I would. Okay.
I'm just kidding. I won't tweet it out. But I will find it. But if I'm wrong, I'll say I'm sorry.
No, you won't.
He said no, you
Even if you were sorry, you wouldn't say it.
Ooh, Mike Evans is a free agent after this year.
maybe I said I was.
I feel like somebody said it.
Just last
I
week,
don't
I'm
know.
like, well, if he just wants to get drafted and you go back to school, it could hurt you.
Yeah.
I was saying like
I
you
don't
could just go to the Bears.
We might put together a college podcast later on
That would
for
Yeah, I'd say
for prospects.
I'd say closer to the draft.
Closer to the draft, I think we'll put together a draft
Would be
podcast
cool if
because
we
we can
did,
talk
like-
about that all day.
if we
Yeah,
each
that's
did like
easy.
our own top prospects, but I don't really.
But
watch
like,
them.
if you're Shadur Sanders and you are a projected top 10 pick, do you go back to college?
Yeah, you go back to school because he
He's
knows that Colorado's
Gonna
going to
get
be
better.
a lot better.
'Cause
Why
people
not,
are gonna
why not
wanna
have
keep
one run
coming.
at the Natty?
people
I
are
don't
going to
think-
want to keep coming.
I don't
to
think he's going to be a
beyond.
top 5 pick no matter what
No,
he
he
does.
won't.
So what's the difference in this year and next year when you can go back? He's already making a lot of money from NILs. He already said that. So why not come back next year when they're going to have a line? You know what I mean? They're going to bring guys in.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, come back next year and ball out when maybe go for that run for that Natty.
but then you have to play for the Bears.
I
The
don't
Bears
think
got Caleb
I don't
Williams.
think
After
it
they blow
matters.
this game, that head coach.
I don't think it matters.
They need to just clean
I just think
sweep
he's
the
coming back,
office.
but-
I feel
Mhm.
like.
They'll have 1 year of Caleb Williams. Be like, yeah, we're done. We're gonna get Sanders.
The Bears are going to be that bad. What do you do with Justin Fields?
I think
Where does Justin Fields go? There's too many good quarterbacks out here.
No, that's what I'm saying. Like
He'll be a
that's
good
what I
backup
said to
somewhere, I
Gary.
guess.
I was like, at some point, like, there's so many good QBs. Like some that need to be starting are going to end up becoming backups because people
kinda
are obviously
crazy.
keep getting drafted unless people actually start taking the approach of drafting.
How many quarterbacks
drafting,
are near the end of their
me and you
career
talk
right
about
now?
where you draft and like
Maybe Kirk.
You got the
he
Jets.
just threw a pick, didn't he? That's
Who
crazy.
Justin Fields in?
No.
How?
Ooh, that's
Nice.
brutal. So what do you got? You got the Jets. They'll need a quarterback soon.
Yeah.
You got the Vikings if Kirk doesn't resign.
I mean,
I don't-
even if he does resign,
They need-
now,
yeah, they need-
Even if he does resign, the Titans for sure.
Titans, Cardinals could use one.
Cardinals, depending on I don't.
No,
Kyler
the
Murray's been
Kyler
getting hurt too
situation.
much.
yeah.
I think they're done with Kyler.
I love Kyler. I love the guy, but
Giants.
Giants.
No,
know if
they
they-
just paid Daniel.
They just paid him. Yeah,
They're
that's,
going to try to build the lineup around him.
Yeah, it's true. I don't know.
Broncos for sure.
What the issue with the Broncos
I think
is
it's
Seahawks.
Russ hasn't
Raiders.
even been playing bad.
the Broncos gave up so much to get Russell,
Raiders.
and then they also didn't they give him a new contract
Seahawks.
too?
Did you already say Seahawks?
Yes, I just said Seahawks. Yeah.
Didn't Wilson
Yeah,
get
but
a new
didn't they sign
contract?
Gino to a 3-year?
Yeah, that's true. They did.
Yeah, Gino was signed to a 3-year.
So we got 2 more years after this one.
I think it's gonna start going back to like teams drafting guys and developing.
I mean, that's what you're gonna have to do.
That's what I was saying.
Because
Like,
there's no teams that need a day one starter right now.
The
really.
Lions,
Goff, no. Goff's been playing really good.
but he could fall off at any moment. No, you know
That's
what I mean.
But that could also happen with like Dak. Like he could
That's
have.
why
Like,
I think
next year could be like a bad year.
I think that's
for
why
him.
you
Saints?
start. I think that's why you
Yeah,
start
Derek
drafting
Carr
QBs.
could have a bad year like next year.
Start drafting QBs in like the second, third round to develop.
Buccaneers.
Yeah,
Yeah, because Baker's a you know what I mean kind of like a
Yeah.
hot streak guy.
that's
It's a roller
true.
coaster.
There's
Yeah,
a,
I guess the good
But-
thing about Russell Wilson, he's on contract till 2028, but all his guaranteed money's gone until, after 2024.
that's nice.
So if you drafted a quarterback, you could sit him.
Commanders. I don't think I said the Commanders, but
Yeah,
No, I don't believe in Sam Howell.
he's just. We haven't really seen him that much play from him, so you know what I mean.
I'm watching this game. It's not that good.
I
But
thought
yeah,
Chase
I mean,
Young was gonna do something.
Oh,
think
Patriots. Did you say the Patriots?
Definitely
Yeah, they
Patriots.
bench Mac Jones.
Dude, if
Zappy, it might be
if they
Zappy
somehow
time.
get the top pick,
That'd be gross. Caleb Williams, New England.
Hell, if I'm Bill Belichick, that's what I'm doing. Tank.
He doesn't want to lose, but it'll help.
It's for your best interest to do it.
yeah, I think once it gets closer, we should definitely do more like mock stuff.
For sure. 100%. I think we should have our own little draft show too.
That would be
Our
cool.
draft
At
podcast.
some point, like that. Like
We don't
when
have to
when
upload.
when
We don't have
get
to upload
live
the audio,
stuff,
but
that'd
you
be
know,
a lot
do stuff
cooler,
on
too.
YouTube.
Well,
Yeah.
that and hopefully soon we'll be able to get like a whole actual setup in my old room.
Yeah.
That's pretty
nice.
much all I had for this week. Like all the big stuff I wanted to talk about.
Yeah. This week wasn't all that fun to talk
Yeah,
about
it
just
was
because it was a gloomy game, just a very gloomy game from the Bengals. And when you're like that, you're just kind of hurt by it, and it's very irritating and frustrating. So
Hopefully this week's a good pick me up.
Yeah.
Pick me up.
No,
game
that's
for
all we
us.
can hope for.
It's
Yeah.
got to be.
all right,
Me and
guys.
Jordan both have Burrow in fantasy, so hopefully it is.
Yeah, I started Burrow over.
I think it's like 3 weeks now with him less than
Oh, you
10
started
points.
Burrow over Howell today?
Yeah, I
That's
did.
smart though.
We'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. All right, guys. That's gonna be the end of this one. Episode 6. We're on the Glendale. We'll be right back right after the game. Maybe with some post-game reactions, just because I think we need it.
Yeah.
Guess we'll see you next week.
Yep.
See you guys.